On the show this week,
I rub something shiny, completely forget what a Neo Geo looks like. We go Gameboy crazy. And to help myself get over selling my Yamaha DX7, I shoot some animals in the African savannah. Yes, it is me. It is Jace at Retro Games. Hello, how are you? Happy Retro Games Day. It is Friday. How are we? I just spilled a drink down my top. Last week, you might have noticed there was a white piece of fluff stuck on my t-shirt. It was just bobbing around on my flab. It really put me off in the edit. But I couldn't mention it in the show because I didn't notice. I didn't notice it, that's the thing. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? I could have like half a fried egg stuck down my top. I wouldn't know until it comes to the edit and I think, oh, what did I do that for? Why have I got an egg stuck on my shirt? Oh, that's annoying. How are you anyway? Has it been a good week? It is Friday. It is Friday. We're heading towards December rapidly. Oh my goodness, have you even thought about Christmas? Don't think about it. Don't think about Christmas. Think about buying yourself loads of old video games for your collection. No, but on the subject of Christmas, yeah, festive. Something new that we've come up with at Retro Games, something we've requested for a while, and I just thought I'd bring this to your attention. We are introducing this year for the first time in how many, 27, 28 years, whatever, we are going to have our own gift vouchers. Yes, gift vouchers. I have been asked for gift vouchers for Retro Games at least, well, every November, December, generally, oh yeah, I want to get my partner this, I want to get my partner this. I don't know what to choose in, but I'd love to give him a gift voucher. I've given in. This is what it looks like. We've got several different denominations. These are personally made, bespoke. There's a rub-off code. We've got a proper code under there, and the credit will be on the system. You just at checkout, just type in the code, and you'll get your money, and that's the money. So we're going to make. They're going to go on the site in the next week or so. You will be able to buy gift vouchers, £10, £50, £20, £30, £100, £1,000 if you want. And we will provide that gift voucher for free, and we will send it for free. So it's not going to cost you any more than the value of the voucher. And your loved one can then enjoy loads of retro crud. Yeah, their choice. It's nothing quite as disheartening as your partner choosing your retro stuff for you. That's why you end up with things like, oh, I got some Mario fridge magnets. What I really wanted was, I can't think of what did I really want. I wanted Call of Duty. Yeah, I didn't want Call of Duty. No, I wanted Way of the Exploding Fist. It came from the desert, and I ended up with this. Tetris lamp. You've seen it, the Tetris lamp, something like that, or the Pac-Man lamp, or there's lots of retro crud, isn't there, that gets foisted on us collectors come festive Christmas time. Oh, you like games? I thought you'd like that. Yeah, it's a Xbox logo that lights up USB. Wow, thanks, Mum. Oh, I'm getting in trouble because if any family members watch this show, they're thinking, but that's what I got you last Christmas. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, you know what it's like. You get bought some crud at Christmas because you're a gamer, and maybe you could actually get something you wanted off the site, something that's just new in some, PC Engine Neo Geo. Awesome SNES game that nobody else would want to choose for you. Breathe, Jace. Let's talk about last week. We did a midweek episode. We did the bargain basement episode, and I know you're all thinking, well, how did it go, Jace? How did it go? Was it worth it? Are you doing jump cameras? Are you doing another one? And I am thinking of doing borderline. Some of the collections flew straight away. Sean didn't buy the Commodore collection. But I think Jabobbly Rob beat him to it, and he got it. I think Sean changed his mind. The Xbox 360 stuff went, but there's still quite a bit left. Quite a few batches. The PlayStation, the BBC, Amiga, ST. Here's a little rundown of what is left and how much they cost. Let's see if we can sell them, and that will encourage me to do it again. So, you know, you're buying this to make me do more bargain basement stuff. It's a strange situation, isn't it? I'm forcing you to buy very cheap lots of stuff. It's nice to get rid of some chunks of stuff, and then I can get lots more chunks of stuff for you. Anyway, check, this is what's left. So this is our Atari ST collection. And this is the big Spectrum collection, loads of stuff in there. The PlayStation collection, loads of games. There's a few bits for the Amiga. This is PC, mainly unboxed, about 30 odd games there. This is for BBC, bits and pieces BBC. Nintendo books and magazine freebies. Of course, there's a lot more stuff on the bargain basement than just this stuff. A big pile of Sinclair stuff. More Spectrum, mixture of box sizes. Some double case Spectrum games. 30 full price Spectrum games. Amiga magazine cover discs, over 50 of those. More Amiga software, loads of PD stuff, 108 discs. Some Commodore 16 games. Complete your magazine collection with these Amstrad cover cassettes. And what about this? Elite, £4 for BBC. So grab yourself a bargain. Who needs Black Friday? You don't need it. It's always Black Friday here. It's always dark and foreboding. Shall we carry up? Shall we get on with it? There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was, and it was probably going to be fascinating. That is a shame. So there's only one thing I really need to say. There's one important thing I really want to get off. Actually, no. Last week I was a bit morose, a bit morbid, a bit fed up with the show. I moaned about the show because I'm tired. Because I'm tired of doing it every Friday. And yes, but I am going to have a break for Christmas, so this show will go off air. But we're going to do a big Christmas show, and I'm going to write to a few of you individually. I'm going to write to you, and because I want some contributions, but I want some video contributions. If you thought, you know, oh, I love the Retro Games Show, I'd love to be on it, I'd like to feature on it, well, record a little video, say what you want to say, tell us about a little anecdote, tell us about your collecting, tell us about something hilarious that happened in the world of gaming to you, and send me the video, and we actually put it on the show, so you can actually be part of the Retro Games Christmas show too. It was our second Christmas show. It's going to be a competition. I will welcome comments, not this week, but I will, nearer the time, I will welcome comments that we can talk about on the big Christmas show. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I will have a little bit of a break before coming back in January with the What's in the Box show. Lots of stuff heading our way. Always is. Always is. So yeah, I want to apologise a bit, but I got some incredible amount of love. Lots of love last week. Lots of people just saying how much they love the show, and they're still, even though you don't comment all the time, you are still watching. And it's nice to know that the Hardcore 44 are still there, still watching the whole thing. Because yeah, it is a bit disconcerting. I know a lot of you guys with your own channels will feel the same. You got like 5-6 minutes view time average of a video that takes half an hour. You think, well, not many people are watching it, then are they? People are just flicking through it. And yeah, so I got a little bit angsty, but I was put right. I had some gorgeous comments, loads. All you guys are all my friends. You're all my friends. We are gonna have a retro party one of these days, and you're all gonna come, and you're all gonna party out in the Retro Games Warehouse, and it'll be the best time of your lives, hanging with the Jace. What do you reckon? Well, it could be good, couldn't it? It could be good. An excuse, not like an event, not like selling. No, a retro games party. I like the thought of it. I don't like the thought of hosting it, but I like the thought of it. I like the thought of meeting all you guys and just celebrating the fact that I've been doing this for nearly 30 years. So maybe a 30-year retro games party. But you hire a hall and invite all my retro gaming friends and, you know, colleagues from years gone by. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be fun. We could set up a Spectrum. It could be fun. It could. I'll talk about digressing. Big shout out to Pete. Now, Pete said something like, Pete, he's always a watcher. I love this guy. He's won lots of competitions. You might remember back in the day of the Retro Game Show, he kept winning. But he said something like, "Oh, you know, we are all mortals in the basking in the glow of your genius," or something. It was almost that good. And it was like, what? It was probably the nicest compliment I've ever said. Let's just cut and I'll read it out properly.
You do have a different outlook on gaming, not to mention the knowledge you share. When it comes to gaming, you are a giant, surrounded by mere mortals.
See what I mean? That is pretty incredible. Pretty incredible comment. You blew me away with that one. And it really just makes me want to say, and I've been meaning to say this for a while, I just haven't found the courage to say it. Hang on. Getting a bit totes and mosh. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah, still wacky. Still wacky. Can't help myself, can I? I should write to Channel 4, shouldn't I? I was thinking this. Channel 4 should put on a gaming show. Back to a gaming show. And who better to have hosting that retro gaming show than me, the first retro gamer. I mean, the first retro gamer hosting a proper mainstream TV show on video games. I talk about new stuff. I play the new stuff too. Ooh, I cover all the bases. Let's move on. What's in the box? Yes, what's in the box? What's in? Yes. All right. What's in the box? Now I'm going to start with hardware, and this is something that came in the office last week, and we should have listed it last week. But the reason it wasn't listed is because we all had so much fun in the office playing it. Because sometimes things come in and it's like, oh my goodness, that is incredible. And I know it's an expensive thing. I'm really building this up. It's an expensive thing, but this is a fantastic piece of gaming hardware. Now you're thinking, what the heck is it, James? What the heck? Well, let's look. It's got some parts. This is a part. I'll come back to that. It is a Neo Geo. It is a Neo. What the hell? He's gone stark raving mad. It's like that rap, like Neo Geo, Sinclair Spectrum. It's a PC engine. It's not a Neo Geo. You thought it was going to be a Neo Geo. I think my brain was thinking, well, if you're saying it's the best, most exciting fun, it must be a Neo Geo. It's not. It is a PC engine Duo R. This is the all-in-one PC engine. It takes discs in there, the super CD, they call it, the PC engine, and then you've got a cartridge under a little flap. You have the cartridge slot. I'll just get this on the camera. It is in beautiful condition. You're thinking, yeah, Jace, okay, that's quite exciting. It's a lovely console. Well, it's a beautiful console that really didn't get any distribution outside Japan. And it's a shame because it's an elegant, slick piece. I mean, you can't compare this to the ugliness of a Mega CD plugged into a Mega Drive, can you? But that's basically what this is. It takes all Hue cartridges, and it all takes all discs. I guess you got the CDX, haven't you, or multi-mega, I guess. Well, that was a pretty unique solution to that. But anyway, I digressed again. Beautiful, but let me show you this. Now, I'm going to open the flap. And there we have, we've got a very special card. I'm going to take that out, but you'll also see, let me take the card out. Let me take that out. But you'll see it's got a switch. This is modified, a little flip switch inside to flip between Japanese or graphics, PC Engine, Super Graphics, which is like the USA version of PC Engine. So it'll play every single PC Engine game. But now let me talk about this. This is the Turbo King V1.9. Well, it's a EverDrive kind of thing. It's got a little memory card, a little card in the bottom there, which plugs in and out. A micro SD card. It's got a reset switch, so you can actually reset the games on the fly. So on this little memory card is every single PC Engine Hue card game. Every single one is on there. You can play every single PC Engine game just with this amazing console. It's all on there. It's all on there, and it's a menu. The menu comes up when you turn it on. You choose. There's everything. Special versions, modified versions, sample versions, demo versions. There's bootleg stuff. There's like the slight variations. There's the Super Graphics, not the core graphics, the Super Graphics games that on the sequel to the PC Engine games are on there. They don't run on this. There's also some homebrew kind of stuff, but every single game that you can think of is there, and you can play. I mean, you know, PC Engine is the home to some amazing games, but that is not all. I should show you the controller before we carry on. There, it's got the very nice controller there, beautiful. It's in lovely condition, really beautiful condition. But this is the other part. This is the other part. I'm going to just unzip this bad boy. This is, okay, they're backups. They are backups, but there is 110 disc games. Now these all play perfectly. We played them. We've enjoyed it. R-Type complete. Remember one? It's the Super CD versions of all of those HuCard games. So they have enhanced soundtrack, enhanced graphics, bigger games. And they're all on here, all the big ones, Sapphire, Hyperdyne, It Came From The Desert, Monsters Lair, Valis, 1, 2, 3, Forgotten Worlds, Godzilla. I mean, Final Zone, Game Ground, they're just Fantasy Star Soldier, Fighting Street, Exile, Dungeon Master Theron's Quest, Cheeky Boys, Dynastic Hero. It's just, I mean, as a shooter fan as well, there's so many brilliant shooters on PC Engine. Bomberman, Panic Bomber, Hellfire, Hellfire 2, Rally Championship, Sylphia, Macross, Macross 2036, Splash Lake, Bonk 3, that's PC Kid, Prince of Persia, Valis 4, Shapeshifter, Implode, Super Darius. I could go on. There is literally 110 games on disc with this PC Engine. So yeah, so you've got every single HuCard and 110, which I think pretty much covers all the best, all the English friendly, because there's a lot of Jap RPG stuff on PC Engine, but that's not really on the disc. It's all the arcade stuff, everything you ever wanted to play. And I know this is going against the whole ethos of retro games. We're collectors, we want to have the original games. But it's brilliant to be able to play them while you're waiting to collect the other. You know, yeah, absolutely. I do want you all to buy original stuff. They are, you know, downloaded versions. But what a brilliant experience. I mean, if someone buys that as a Christmas present, they're going to have the best Christmas ever. Just imagine playing all those, every PC Engine game you can think. Nice thing. Nice thing. Okay. Now, it was a big week, moving on from PC Engine, it was a big week this week for Game Boy. Yes, Game Boy. We've had some Game Boys in stock, and I've got some hardware to show you. Got some actual Game Boy consoles in stock. We've got quite a lovely selection, including this. This is a beautiful DMG 01. The original 1989 is, I always think it's 88, but it's not, it's definitely 89. I always think it came, I think there was so much talk about it that I thought it was more stuck into the 80s. I always feel this is an 87, 88 console, but it's not. It is 89, and it's such a beautiful example. It's beautiful clear screen. It's just such a love. We don't get, sadly, no boxes I could put this in to turn it into a box set at the moment. I think we sold off all our spare boxes. It's a shame, because that is a beautiful example of the console. So we started with the original. Now what came after that? Well, it's the Game Boy Pocket. And there's a beautiful Game Boy Pocket this week. That's the skeleton version. I mean, you can see the circuitry. It's lovely looking inside these things. I always love the skeleton versions of things. And it's brilliant. It's got a better definition. It's got a darker LCD screen. It's clearer, and the screen is bigger, yet it's smaller and more compact. It was a brilliant invention, the Game Boy Pocket. Still play all the same games. I've got another one. This one's a boxed one. There's a boxed Game Boy Pocket, not a skeleton one, but yeah, we don't get these in a box very often. Very nice. Let me just whiz that out. Little tears. This is a little tear in the corner, but apart from that, you can see it's got the manual, and there it is, a lovely silver one. It's very chromy and sharp. Look at the reminds me of when we looked at that the Super Colour Game & Watches recently. It's just that lovely shine. Just a beautiful condition Game Boy Pocket in silver. Just a lovely thing. So yeah, that's two Game Boy Pockets and a Game Boy Original. What else is in the box, Jace? Well, What other Game Boys would you like? You would like, hang on. Well, okay, what about Game Boy Color? This is the colour version of the Game Boy. Got a beautiful, bright green one. That is lovely, isn't it? A beautiful Game Boy Color. So this was after the Pocket. We went to the Color. They are so groovy. There's a whole, you know, Benetton's United Colours of Benetton amount of colours of the Game Boy Color. Testing these, you do forget how tricky they were, because you have to catch the light. They're not backlit screens. You really do have to catch the light. But surprisingly good quality gaming on the Game Boy Color. You forget. It's a massive step from the original. I know the Game Boy Advance is a bigger step, but from the original Game Boy to Game Boy Color, it does feel like a whole new console. Now, what about this one? This is a beauty. This is a Game Boy Color in yellow. I've lost some post-it notes. Hang on. Organised. This is a bright yellow mint in the box. I mean, this is absolutely stunning condition. I mean, this is like it's just come off the shelf in your local WH Smith's. Beautiful box. I mean, you have to agree that is gorgeous. And everything's in there. It's all in the. Let's get that. It's all in the plastics. And you pull the console out. Still got its original polys. The manuals are all in there in the plastic bags too. And look at that. Look at that. It's perfect. It's like it never got used. Like it just sat in the shelf. Sat on the shelf forever. Or, well, a collector bought it and just put it on the shelf. Because they had all the other colours. They probably played the boring colour and just kept the yellow one in pristine condition. Perfect. Yeah, that is gorgeous. I love that. I love that. Game Boy Color Yellow. Now, what's next? Any more Game Boys? Surely not more Game Boys. Well, yes, actually. What about the Game Boy Advance? I've got this one in an official carry case, but this is quite a plain. You don't see it so often. It's white. It's the white one. You always see that purpley blue colour, GameCube-y sort of colour. But this is a nice, pristine white one, and it's like. I feel like I'm making it dirty just doing this, but yeah, beautiful condition. And Game Boy Advance, again, I remember when that was first launched. That was launched in a UK game show, because I was actually there, and it was like a big surprise. Nintendo launched the Game Boy Advance at the show, and I remember playing it on the show floor and being absolutely blown away. But they had lots of very strategically positioned mini spotlights, so that you didn't realise quite how tricky the visibility can be. I've got another one here. Yeah, it's another boxed one. This is transparent. It's the skeleton version of Game Boy Advance. Again, I'll get it on the camera. Again, amazing box. Beautiful condition. Let's pop this out. It's got the manuals and everything in it. Yeah, it's the transparent version. It's not as clear. I wish that was as clear. It's a kind of smoky, milky. That's for your old Mary White's experience. Yeah, I grew up with that. Yeah, it's not the same clearness as that lovely Pocket, is it? I prefer proper clear than smoky clear. I'll put that on a t-shirt. I prefer proper clear to smoky clear. Yeah. Okay, now what do we have after the Game Boy Advance? Well, of course we have the Game Boy Advance SP. Now this cured so many of the problems with the Game Boy. It got beautiful. This is a beautiful. It came in this week. It's got a lovely little pouch strip. And this is the gorgeous. It's the NES version. It's made to look like a mini NES. Different colour, that grey contrast on the back. Open it up, but yeah, beautiful. It's probably got some life in it. There we go. But yeah, absolutely mint condition, beautiful NES Game Boy. And I love the form factor of this, the flip open, and we had flip open phones when this came out. I don't know, it's got that, you could get away, you could actually fit this in a pocket, maybe a coat pocket. It's not going to go in your shorts so well, but well, I don't know. I had one of these. I played it to death. Obviously, I had everything. I played it to death when it came out. And my wife was having our first baby, Izzy. When Izzy was being born, it was a very long, protracted labour. And I took my Game Boy Advance SP with Advance Wars. and because I couldn't work, I was there comforting my partner through the birth of my child, but it took nearly 2 days for Izzy to be born, and I got through all the levels. I pretty much completed it, and it was one of the best times of my life. Yeah, and Izzy was there as well. It was mad. I've got another one. This is another SP. Again, it's that lovely little Nintendo official case. Very cool. I mean, far from pocket size. I mean, it's got the strap things there for you to like put. What are you going to do? Wear it around your neck? I don't know. It's a bit strange, isn't it? But this is a different colour. This is a metallic blue, more like turquoise. There is a deeper blue than this. This is the turquoise. I think it's rarer than the dark blue. But again, beautiful condition, and yes, of course it's working. They're all working, but yeah, that is lovely, isn't it? That's a lot of game. How many Game Boys are you shown here, Jason? I know, a lot of Game Boys. One more Game Boy, more Game Boy, and of course I have to finish off with the last one, don't I? And that is, hang on, the Game Boy Micro. Now, the Game Boy Micro, just open this on the camera, it's got a little pouch. There you go, beautiful silver Game Boy Micro. These things are just incredible. I think the reason I love the Game Boy Micro has got nothing to do with the screen, smaller screen. Lots of backlash within Nintendo because it was releasing with a smaller screen. The metal body, fabulous, but that's not the thing that I really love. The thing that I love is the light up control, the buttons at the bottom, the select and start button are illuminated, and for some reason that just makes me feel all fuzzy inside. It's just amazing, isn't it? I just love that. But yeah, the beautiful game. It's so bright, it's not picking up on the camera. But they are. The problem with these, are too valuable. You really actually want to put it in your pocket and play it all the time, but you're thinking, I'm going to scratch it. I'm going to scratch it against my keys. Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it? They just, yeah. At least the Game Boy SP, you do feel like you're closing it up, you're clamming it up. It's not going to get damaged inside. Not so much with the Micro. Let me just get rid of these Game Boys before we talk about some games. We've talked about a lot of Game Boy games, Game Boy machines. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was 10! 10 Game Boys on the show today. That's a lot of Game Boys, isn't it? I know you're thinking, well, you better have some games to show on it. Yeah, I have. Let's go backwards. Let's start with Game Boy Advance. Now, I've got some games for the Game Boy Advance. I'll just put them on the table. Now, I test a lot of stuff. I like testing the handheld stuff, obviously. I love handhelds. I'm always amazed when I pick up a Game Boy Advance and I start playing, various games, how good it is. We forgot how good it is. No wonder that Analog made their Analog Pocket, because there's so much life and, brilliant thrills to be found in Game Boy Advance games. And hopefully I'm going to prove it with these 5 games I've picked from this week's new additions to the website. Now, the first up is this. It's called It's Mr. Pants. Now, the reason I love this game is because it's by Rare. It's Mr. Pants. Yes, it's like that comedy. It's so British, isn't it, Mr. Pants? I just love it. I think it's so uniquely Rare, isn't it? You can tell. That comedy, fun, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Conker's Bad Fur Day. It kind of all feels like the same kind of style. I love it. Now, this is a really rare game. There are rare, trust me, there are rare Game Boy Advance games. And this game is called Blackthorn. Yes, I know it sounds like a sort of cider. I'll have a pint of Blackthorn, please, Dave. But yeah, very, very nice and very hard to find game. Now let's find the next one. All right, now we've done a lot of shooters in recent episodes. So what about this one? Hang on, I just thought of a joke. Yeah. Can I have that game, please? Flanks. Flanks. Flanks for the game. Oh, it's pathetic. You watched my mind trying to calculate a joke and I just couldn't get there. Flanks, phalanx sounds a bit like thanks. Get over yourselves. Yeah, it's a bit of shooting action on the Game Boy. That's what you want to do. Dip in and out. Pull out a game from your pocket. A little quick shooting blast. Ease your stress. Brilliant. And here's another one. Iridion. Sounds back to Zanussi. Iridion 3D. Yes, Iridion with stain diffusers. I don't know. Iridion. It's a funny name for a game, isn't it? A funny name. One more Game Boy Advance, and I picked this one just because it's going up in value very quickly, and that is Astro Boy by Sega. Astro Boy, yeah, that is I think it's Astro Boy comes from the 1920s, 1930s. Yeah, it's a fascinating Japanese early origins of animation kind of guy. Yeah, interesting game, Astro Boy. Let's move on. Okay, let's carry on with Game Boy Color. I'm trying to cover all the bases. Now this is the first one. Back to the shooters. R-Type DX. Now we've looked at R-Type on so many consoles lately. Let's have a look at R-Type on the Game Boy Color. It's better than you thought it would be, isn't it? Isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, it's nicer than you thought it would be, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is. It's a very nice game for Game Boy Color. R-Type DX. Don't know what the DX stands for. I think it stands for DX7, which was a synthesizer made famous by Duran Duran and Aha. And I played one once. Now, what about this game? This is Cannon Fodder. Yes, famous on the Amiga. Team 17. Cannon sensible software's Cannon Fodder, released by Codemasters for the Game Boy Color. Check it out.
It is in.
Yeah, I'm not sure that is better than you thought it would be, is it? But it's amazing to have Cannon Fodder on your Game Boy. What about next? Now this is a classic PS1 game. This is Toca Touring Car. Now I love this game on PS1. I just want to see what's it like on a Game Boy Color. So let's firstly remind ourselves of the classic PS1 Toca Touring Car game. Loads of fun this. You know, an early polygon racer, but loads of really heavy feeling cars, lots of smashing, body deformation, really great game. And here's the Game Boy version. Yes, it's a bit different. It's a pseudo 3D top-down racer, a bit like a RC Pro-Am. But forget about Toca Touring Car. It's actually a pretty sweet game to play on your humble Game Boy Color. Am I right? I think I'm right. Well, it does its best. It's doing its best. That is racing handheld style. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to get some games out for the original Game Boy. Yeah, we're doing all the Game Boys. And this game, this is an unusual one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And it's by Capcom. Check it out. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, I know. Unusual, rare game. What about this? A shooter. There's an original Game Boy. We're going back in time. Solar Striker. Check it out.
Okay, time for the big boss. Pretty easy, big boss.
Pretty decent. I think it's a bit of fun. I think Solar Striker's a bit of fun. That's all right. Okay, now this is a classic. This is one of my all-time favourite, as you know, my all-time favourite N64 games, Wave Race. Let's see what Wave Race is like on the original Game Boy.
And for comparison, here it is, the epic N64, rough waters, this one, and the most iconic ending to a race ever. It's just glorious. Even if the Game Boy can only manage a fraction of the joy within this game, it will be doing well. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can tell they're jet skis when they go left and right. Not really any water movement there. It's a simple top-down racer. Oh, well, what about the big climax? What about when you get to the end of the race? What have they done with that? Oh.
It's not much like the N64 version, is it? But it's nice to do that, and I thought as a comparison, we've got another water-based racing game this week called Riptide Racer. And I thought, well, let's check it out and see if in the intervening years, when they went to, because this one's enhanced with colours, the black cartridge, grey cartridge, original Game Boy, black cartridge, original Game Boy, but also enhanced for colour Game Boys. And anyway, this is by Cryo. Let's see what this water-based racing game is like.
Is it a jet ski? Or is it a Transformer's head? There's no sound. There's nobody to race against. Mum, can you take me back to W.H. Smith's?
I think that's enough water-based racing games for anyone. Moving on, let's get away from Game Boy. Now, okay, we had a couple more Nintendo games this week. First, for USA Nintendo, it's an unusual one. This is Doomsday Warrior. Doomsday Warrior. Yeah, very nice game. Yeah, just a cartridge. Thought you'd like that. Now, what about this? This is back to PAL. All right, PAL. PAL Dirt Racer by Elite. This game signifies the demise of Elite. They were dying. A brilliant British brand brought up in the 1980s. Is it Richard Wilcox's company Elite, and then they're slowly falling to pieces. They released some NES games, I think Dragon's Lair's on the Elite label. But when we get to the SNES, we're getting to the core. Can they survive? Can they survive? Well, this is the game that was going to try and keep them going. Dirt Racer.
Now, a classic technique from the 16-bit era. Make a soundtrack really fast and convince players that the game's moving quickly. There's a lot of BPM in the soundtrack to this one. I'll shut up so you can hear it. It's pretty lumpy. It's got polygons. Oh no. For some reason your tyres get green slime on them. I don't know why. They should have called it Bogey Racer.
Not a classic, not a classic. Not powered by the Super FX chip like last week's, as you can remember. If you remember last week. Dirt Racer, what about this? Now this is an unusual one. This is by Ocean, another super famous British label. On the slippery slope of demise, and that is Eek the Cat. It's based on a cartoon nobody's ever heard of. Check it out.
Again, it's all about the soundtrack. It's got a real Amiga feel about this. That's real Amiga style music.
Eek the Cat. It couldn't save Ocean. It couldn't save Ocean. Sad. Now the last SNES game I'm going to show you today is this. Now I'm going to show you this one because it's got personal memories. It's called Battle Clash, and it's a game. My SNES, the first SNES I got was with that massive Super Scope pack. That's the one with the SNES and the Super Scope, and it's like, wow, huge. But obviously you got that just game, the 6-pack game that comes with the Super Scope. Not great. That's okay. I'm going to track down some more Super Scope games. I got Battle Clash. I was so excited. And I got this from the shop. I was getting back. I got the massive Super Scope on my shoulder like a Bazooka Bill. And I played this. Check it out. And I wanted to go back to the shop and smash the game into the man's face. It was rubbish! Absolute rubbish. It probably looks better now than it actually did then. Because we take it into context now. We know in context it's a 16-bit light gun game. What do you expect, Jace? Grow up. But yeah, Battle Clash, one of my life's biggest disappointments. And this was a game that you could pick up for a few quid, but now it started picking up value. I think that is enough Nintendo today. Let's move on to PlayStation. Rushing through. Oh, I'm knackered. Okay, I've got some unusual PlayStation games. This is Blast Chamber by Activision.
Now this is a bit of a sleeper game. Not many people have heard of it, but it's actually pretty original and fun. Imagine tag in a cube, 4 players at the same time, extra weapons, little gadgets that change the screen. It reminds me of Power Stone, kind of that 4-player action. A reason to have a PlayStation multi-tap. Yeah, it came out on Saturn as well. But it's actually a really good fun game, and underrated and forgotten about largely.
Yeah, so last week we covered loads of PS2. This week I thought we had a load of PS1 come in, so let's talk about that. Unusual game. And this is a similarly unusual game. I always relate this to the 3DO version, but Shockwave Assault.
This isn't a game, Lieutenant.
Oh, fair enough.
Electronic Arts are their finest. But yeah, it's kind of a CGI cheesy. But yeah, lots of fun, beautiful condition. There it is, all lovely. Shockwave Assault. Now, get to some more. Another game that I hadn't played before. Check this out. Air Race. Air Race, yes, a racing game in airplanes. Do you remember GB Air Rally on the Spectrum and Commodore? Yeah, like a flying racing game. It's different, isn't it? It's different. I like different. And there, I'll just open it up there. And there's the disc and everything. It's all there. Air Race for PlayStation 1. Okay, now, what else have we got? This is an unusual one. Strike Force Hydra. We're back on the shooters. We saw loads of PS2 shooters last week. What is this like on PS1?
So it looks like a pretty good top-down shooter, digitised graphics and explosions, lots of noise, but what about the soundtrack that's underneath this? This is so inappropriate. Check out the music when I take the bullets away. It's just crazy, unsuitable music. I should be writing game music. Come on, give me a chance.
Pretty fun, pretty exciting, I'd say. Pretty nice shooter. Yeah, better than I expected. Lots of fun. And keeping on the shooter tip, R-Type Delta. Another version of R-Type on the same show, but this one's a classic. Everyone knows it's brilliant. Updated version of the classic shooter. One of the greatest games on PS1. No? Yeah? No? Yeah? I should show you the manual then. Alright, I'll show you the manual. Got the beautiful manual. And the disc there. There's the disc. R-Type. That manual is absolutely stunning. Beautiful condition. R-Type Delta. Any more shooters, Jace? Well, I don't know. Is this a shooter? I think it is. It's called, what is this? X2. Even though in the middle it just says no relief. More shoot 'em action. Shoot 'em. Again, I'm saying shoot 'em. Forget the up. Forget the up. Just call them shoot 'ems from now on. Shoot 'ems, brawlers. We're recalibrating the vernacular. Oh, yeah, I got you. Check this out.
Starstruck.
X2, brilliant. I thought it was underrated. I love the original games in these these beautiful double case games. We're rattling through quick, aren't we? There's another double case game, just one that I have not talked about or played, so I thought I'll put that on. Power Move Wrestling by Activision. Yeah, power moves. Yeah, it's kind of blocky and cheesy, sure, but it is of the time. These are early. This is 95, 96. This is like people experimenting. What can we do with 3D graphics? Can we push boundaries? Okay, now I've got a couple more in the box. First one. Now this comes back to an old conversation. This is an unusual game. It's Riot. It's by Psygnosis. Yeah, it's Psygnosis. Did live on the PlayStation. People forget Psygnosis did Wipeout. Psygnosis, Kiliak the Warrior. But then there was loads of Psygnosis experimental driving games, racing games, weird games on the PS1. Check out Riot.
So let's go there now to our live cameras.
Oh yes, it's a future sport game. Oh, it's got commentary and everything.
They're looking very strong.
They got it back up to the charger.
Good shot!
Yeah, it's a goal. It's a goal.
Yeah, it's a future sport. It wanted to be speedball. It's not speedball, but it's in beautiful condition. And there we have it, Riot. Lovely early. That manual again. That manual is stunning. I know, I'm overexcited about the manual. The manual is more exciting than the game. Surprise, surprise. Now here's a game I'm very excited to show you because I love it. I love it. This is Robotron X, the king of all arcade shooters. Eugene Jarvis's long lamented coin-op. Robotron, released the same time as Defender by Williams. Did not do as well as Defender. You did not find a Robotron in every arcade, but when you did find one, it was magic. Well, this is a slight update, 3D'd it up. They've done a Jeff Minter Tempest 2000 job on Robotron. Check it out. It's not quite the game I wanted it to be, but it's still pretty exciting. Robotron X. I don't know what the X stands for. X-rated. Yeah, there's nudie people in there. Later on in the game, you get a few nudie people you have to shoot. Anyway, Robotron X, what a lovely addition on the site this week. One more PlayStation game, and this one I'm too excited about. You remember Archer McLean, the long lost but much loved Archer McLean? He made a classic fighting game. I do believe Retro Bear talked about this in similarly glowing terms in his recent show. IK Plus. Well, IK Plus came out on the PS1. Not many people even realise, because it looks exactly the same as it does on the Commodore 64. Check out IK Plus, yes, International Car 8 Plus, on the PS1. Are you mad? I know! It's like, what happened? It's the ultimate retro game. It's a retro game on a retro format of the wrong generation. Just doesn't seem to work, but you know, it's just amazing, collectible. It's just a brilliant thing to have this available, and the graphics the graphics are the same as the 16-bit, virtually not the 64 version. Incredible. Okay, now I've got some handheld games to finish on today, because we didn't do any last week. I've got 3 handheld games. I'm going to try playing them, but first I'm going to show you them. And the first one is called Great Savannah. These are Casio games again. This is CG 100. Is that 1986? Now this is super rare. Beautiful, bright yellow. Look at the. It's about animals. You'll see what the game's like when I play it. Now, here we go then. Great Savannah. It has nothing to do with Erasure. You'll be glad to know. Oh, let's see. Now I am controlling a Jeep. And I can shoot. But I have to shoot where there's no animals on their heads. I can get the snake. Yeah, got it. Oh, shoot. Oh, see, I'm in trouble because there's something on its back. It's a strange game. You have to just shoot the animals that are free, that haven't got any riders. I mean, who came up with the idea? Very lovely game. What about another one? Yes, this is the same series. You can see they go together. This is Missile Defender. We've got CG83 in the Casio repertoire. This is 1984. It's a strange game. It's got the Eiffel Tower in it. Let's check it out. Welcome to Gay Paris. Let's start this. There's the Eiffel Tower. Now you've got 2 fire buttons. One is for tanks, and one is for rockets to do the helicopters. I'm getting caught a lot. One more Casio game. This is Penguin Junior. Penguin Junior, again, beautiful game, fabulous condition. I'm going to show you it running. Check it out. Here we go then, Penguin Junior. It's not just Donkey Kong who's got kids. Let's start. And now this is quite fun. You go up. You have to hit the seals with the seal. Give them food. What's the sound? I can't hear it. That's it. So I'll give them food and they go. And then there's a different button for the whales at the bottom. Oh, the seals got past me and they're killing my baby. That's a shame. I'll try again. So, there's the whale. Instead of whale, jets are big. Do you know what's going on? I'm good at this, aren't I? I really am good. Oh, I whacked that. I did whack the whale. Oh, one's got past me. No. Anyway, strange. Unusual game. Gorgeous colours though. Look at this. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful retro 1980s toy. Love it. And what a fabulous game to end the show on. We've done Game Boy, SNES, PlayStation, handhelds. Is that it? Game Boys, PC Engine. Do you remember? We've had a great time. Tell yourself you've had a brilliant time. You've enjoyed watching all the way to the end. Thank you for watching. Until next week, happy retro gaming, retro gamers!
Retro Game says thank you for watching. Retro Game says thank you for watching.
Hello there. Thank you for staying to the very end of the show. A lot of people think they've watched the whole thing, but they're not staying until after that final credit to see me goofing around or making some other little comment. You know, I'm just here for the special people, okay? Special people.